We're going to spend a little time now talking about how to figure out what the theme of any story is. So first, it's important for us to know exactly what the definition of theme is. And it's going to be the central, underlying, or controlling idea of a story. It's the idea the writer wants you to know about the subject. So think about this as kind of the lesson an author wants you to learn about something. And now let's look at some things that theme is not. It is not a single word. So love is not a theme, or justice is not a theme. It's going to be a complete thought, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. It is not the purpose of the writing. It's not the moral, and it's not the conflict. It's kind of that put together. So the way we are going to determine theme is we're going to look at 4 different things. First, we're going to try to understand our main character, see what it is that they are dealing with. And that goes into now looking at the conflict of the story. Then you need to know how that conflict is resolved so that we can figure out what it is that the author wanted us to learn during that process. And then you're going to make a generalization, so just a statement that can be applied to anybody. And that's a really important thing you need to know about theme, is that this needs to be something that can be applied to anybody, anywhere, not just the characters in that story. And so it should also not include character names. So let's dig one apart here for Little Red Riding Hood, a story that hopefully you know, at least in the background of your life, you've heard it a couple of times. So our main character, it's Little Red Riding Hood, right? So we know she's taking goodies to her grandma. So she's trying to be helpful when her granny's sick. So we know that about her. But then we see kind of the downside of Red. She falls for a wolf that's dressed up in an old lady's clothes. I mean, this does not look like her grandma. Surely she's seen her grandma before. But she still falls for this wolf dressed up just because she has her clothes on. So the conflict is that the wolf ate Granny and is now luring Red in so that he can eat her as well. The conflict resolution, unfortunately it's kind of a bad resolution, is that Red falls for it and she's eaten as well. There's some different versions of this story, but we'll stick to that one for right now. So here's a generalized lesson. Don't always believe everything people say to you. So in this case, Red believed that this wolf was Granny just because he was saying it. You could also say maybe appearances can be deceiving. So there's one theme. There's not always just one theme. You can come up with several different themes, and it's based upon your interpretation of how all of these pieces play together.